Well, hello there. Today I'm introducing you to a 1969 Yankee, Grumman Yankee, and she is quite the beautiful girl, as you can see. And to give you a little history about her, she's had several wonderful owners over the years, and if you treat this girl right with respect and love, she'll take good care of you too. So I know this because she has a special fondness in my particular heart. Many years ago, I was talking to the man I call my husband now, and he said to me in conversation one day, he said, "So, would you rather have an engagement ring or an airplane?" And I said, "Well, of course, I would rather have an airplane." And interestingly enough, he had purchased this particular lovely lady, and she became my engagement dynafocal ring. You'll get the dynafocal ring for those aviation enthusiasts out there. So this lovely lady has been owned by, like I said, some very lovely people who have taken good care of her over the years, loved and respected and cared for, and she treated them as any lovely lady who was treated with love and respect would treat a person. So take a look. If you're interested, give a call. Thank you.
So we would like to ask you, please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notify to stay current with our content. So back in 2023, in March of that year, she got two new main tires. They were Airhawks 15 6x6s with leak guard tubes, a new ELT battery in February of 2025, a Concord RG25XC in April of 2024. In 2023, all new lifetime hoses. 2020, new interior and carpets. 2018, all new solar gray UV glass. So that takes care of the first look at the bunch of work that was done to this plane over the last few years. In 2018, she got new nav light lenses. Total time on the airplane is 2173.5. Since major overhaul by Lycon, 1258.4. One of the lightest empty weight Yankees around. King IFR GPS, database is current, and the data loader included with the airplane. Hangared since 2006, exterior 9.5, interior 9.7. Annual due April of 2026, and a Century 1 autopilot is coupled to all the navs. Now all the control surfaces were rigged to neutral and to the TCDS limits, which is why she's so slick through the air. Oil analysis shows no trends or excessive wear amounts. It's a Lycon port and polished 0235J2A, running strong, flown routinely since 2006, an overhauled engine was installed. Annuals have been done the last 12 years by Yankee Aviation, a Grumman specialty shop located at KHAO, Butler County, Hogan Field in Ohio. So an 0235J2A is a certified engine by Lycoming they never built, but it's a 125 horsepower STC, 9.7 to 1 compression ratio, full continuous power to 2800 RPM, no limitations there, 100 low lead only engine. It has a dynafocal mount, an oil cooler, carburetor with an accelerator pump, the MS3A, Tiger front strut 507 for propeller clearance, magneto set at 25 degrees before top dead center, and a Sensenich propeller. Now there's some nice bling on this airplane. It has solid stainless steel tie-down rings. They will never rust. The claw tie-down kit is included with the airplane, and the canopy cover is included with the airplane. The nose and main fairings were painted in the airplane color Ferrari red in 1996, and this airplane has no fuses. They've all been converted to circuit breakers. Now this airplane has low drag comm antennas. It has an ignition and a canopy key, two sets of those, ADS-B. It has LED landing light and LED navigation lights, and they have two modes, on and pulse mode, and it has a custom panel overlay that quite looks nice in the airplane. All the panel stock plastic rocker switches have been replaced with color-coded metal switches. It's been Rejex coated so that the paint will last a long time. It's good and shiny and water runs right off of it. And it's featured in a number of Grumman pilot videos on YouTube. And now we're going to take a look at some of those videos which show all the work done to the airplane. So stay tuned for that.
For those of you who like nice and shiny airplanes, and who doesn't, but not everybody wants to do the work to keep their airplane nice and shiny. And by the way, flying it through the rain will not keep it shiny. Here's a product called Rejex. It's mainly for motorcycles and stuff like that, but it does a great job on an airplane. It goes in, and as you can look, this is now the paint job on this airplane was done in '99. It's been outside its entire life except for the last 3 years, and look how nice and shiny the Rejex brought the airplane up. Now this plane was done last spring, so there's a year on the Rejex that you're seeing right now. So it's a great product. Keeps your airplane nice and shiny. It's nice and smooth, goes through the air nice and slick. So you can keep looking at the pretty airplane, or you can go out and buy a bottle. We don't make any money from this, but go out and get a bottle and make your airplane nice and shiny. So we hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and have a good day flying your Grumman.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to look at the claw tie-down system. And it's a tie-down system primarily for aircraft. But because of the 3 points, you could use it for anything, like for tying your boat down during a storm, for securing the edge of a tarp during a high wind situation. There are 3 of them included in the kit, so you have 3 points of capture right there for the ground. And I became informed about this, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But anyway, it's a really easy system to install. It's fairly complete. Let's take a look at it. So here's the bag that comes out of the box that said the claw and all on it, and that came in a cardboard box I ordered it from Sporty's, but it came from Arizona. And let's unzip it and see what's inside, but I bet you it's going to be a claw system. So there are your 3 ropes, and then you have your 3 feet that I'm going to call them for the claw. And again, it's the claw tie down system for aircraft. And they're all packaged up in plastic and zip tied. I'm going to remove all of that from them to put them back in the kit, because I have an airplane now tied down outside. It's a 1969 Yankee, and that's how I became acquainted with this. The airplane came the other day to tie down outside the hangar, and I didn't have any tie downs, near did the FBO. So Tom Hogan over at Hogan Aviation loaned me one of his tie down kits called the Claw, and we installed it. I liked it so much on the installation, I turned right around that night and ordered one, and here it is, all in there with the decals and the instructions and everything you need. And now I'm going to remove everything from the claw system. I'm going to cut the zip ties. I'm going to take the hammer out of its wrapper. I like the fact that it's red because it matches the color of the Ferrari red Yankee that it's going to be used with. And there it is, the bag and everything right there. So stay tuned while we take everything apart and get it all ready to go back in the bag. There'll be another chapter right here. Stay tuned, folks. And here's everything cut out of the zip ties. You've got your 3 pieces of rope, your 3 claw feet. You have 9 of the big nails. Now the nails are anodized so they won't rust on you. So it's not like you just went to Home Depot and bought a really big nail. And then they go through at an angle, and then if you pull tension on with the tie down, it makes the claws want to dig into the ground and hold onto it tighter. And there's a little write-up at the end of it that they have on the end of the box, and I took a picture of it to attach it if you want to read it. But everything fits nicely back in the zippered bag, perfect for being in your tie down area secured as you're traveling. And then when you get where you need to go, it's easy to tap the 9 pins in and tie your aircraft down securely. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the tail end of it. Thanks so much for watching all this about the Claw aircraft tie down system. Again, you could probably adapt it for something else in an emergency in a wind situation, but here's the writing on the end of the box, and then the picture will be there for you to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're having fun.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grumman Pilots YouTube channel, directly supporting Grumman Pilots Association. And this morning we're going to talk about a restoration on a Yankee. Now, the Yankee sat outside for 6 years after being lovingly cared for. It had bird straw all in the engine compartment. So what we decided to do is, after buying this airplane, we were going to decal it, get all the straw blown out with air, take it over to the wash rack, wash the engine compartment, get all the bird poop off of it, and then pull it into the shop and evaluate the engine. So this one hadn't been moved for 6 years. We found the engine out to be airworthy. We decided to redo the Firewall, a new Lycon J2A engine, and part doing the Firewall, take the old engine off, clean and paint the Firewall, restore the various parts, and hang a new engine. So here's the old engine coming off the airplane in bits and pieces. We're decaling it and beginning to look at it. And as we see here, here we are just looking at the nose bowl, which is about to be removed. But we get that, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the Firewall all the way down to the Firewall after we lift the engine off with the engine hoist. And from that, we'll just move on with the rest of the project. We started looking at things like worn battery cables, worn fuel pumps, worn fuel lines, out-of-date fuel lines. Here's an intake leak that was really big in the number 2 cylinder. Just taking a good look at it, and then we began to start removing the pieces off of it and getting it ready to strip it down to the Firewall. Because we're going to have to reuse some of these pieces. We're going to put a lot of new components on. So here's the old engine being lifted off with the hoist. Here it is sitting on the ground with the old motor mount. And now we're going to begin the process of looking at what accessories we might be able to use off of this engine. And it turns out that pretty much we don't use anything on the old engine at all. We kept it as a core. We ended up selling it to a gentleman who needed to have a core engine for his airplane. And then it was just a matter of disconnecting everything from the Firewall, masking it all off, getting the ADC oil cooler off, and a few other things you can get down to bare metal so that we can roll lock it down, not damage any of the rivets, make sure they've been checked, and then we can clean it and then begin the process of redoing it. And as you can see here, everything's coming off the Firewall. The Firewall is going to be roll locked down. It's going to be Scotch brighted. Then it's going to be cleaned with alcohol, and then we'll begin the process of repriming it. Meanwhile, we've wrapped everything, so now we're ready for paint. At the same time, we're taking the baffles that we needed and redoing them with baffle seal so that when they go on the airplane, at least we'll have good cooling on the new engine. Don't know why we didn't paint these at this time, but this is what we were doing with it. And while we were there, we took the battery box out, redid it. We took the exhaust brace, bead blasted it, and painted it. Here's the new engine mount with all new Lord mounts for the dynofocal J2A engine that's going on the aircraft. At the same time, we finished painting the battery box shield and the battery box with new color sitting on the tail of my Tiger. And here we have the first layer of prime on the Firewall, second coat of prime on the Firewall, and now we'll come back in with the color, shooting silver on it, one coat and then another coat. And then once we have all that done, it's a matter of we're going to hang the engine mount. So when we bought this airplane, we were very happy with it. We decided to put a Lycon engine on it. It was a good part on our part. So we hope you found all this informative and useful. Take good care of your airplane. Have fun flying them. And thanks.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grumman Pilot's YouTube channel, directly supporting the Grumman Pilots Association. And here you go, the windshield, we haven't put the double bead seal on, nor have we hit the windshield with plastic polish. We've done a first wipe in alcohol. But here's the new windshield in place. And as you can see, we have the forward and the aft bow of the Canopy in place because we've got everything clean, painted, and ready to go. But we're going to wait till tomorrow when we're nice and fresh to start working on the Canopy. The Canopy is one of the most difficult things on the two-place to fit a new one. But here are the rear windows. The new rear windows are in. You can see all the way through them. They're the solar gray. We've got the caulk in. All the trim is back. All we have left is the little RTV, the silicone seal we're going to put in black on these. But this is, take your time. It's not a lot of money. It's a lot of labor, but it's a labor of love. and you've got new glass in your airplane. The glass we took out was from 1969, so it was 49 years old, and now it's all nice and pretty and new. So keep your girl looking good, take care of her, buy her the parts she needs, and we hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and have a good day flying your Grumman.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grumman Pilot's YouTube channel. Today we're going to cover redoing the interior of your Yankee. It could be any two-seater, and there's not really a whole lot wrong with this one, but let's go through the process and watch Tim as he redoes his. So here's the interior all out of the airplane. Now we're going to tear apart the seats and tear apart the side panels and redo it all for a new look. Now all this work is going to amount to about 56 hours of time, because as you can see, when we take the seats apart, there's not a whole lot we can reuse. The foam is coming apart in pieces. We're going to put new foam, new wrappers, and new covering on all the interior. Same thing is going to go for the side panels. But the process is going to be well worth it, because now you're going to have a new custom leather interior that matches your airplane, and it's going to give you good service for another 20 years, and you're going to have nice, comfortable foam to sit on. So Tim did a really wonderful job with this. And while he took everything apart, he also took the time to repaint, like the wood on the bottom of the seats was repainted black. The frames were touched up. All the old glue was taken off. All the hardware was checked. And when he was all done, after putting them all back together, this is what it looked like. So here are the side panels and one seat. This is from the co-pilot side. But here's the entire interior all laid out, ready to go back in the airplane. And now let's start assembling the aircraft. And as I said, it's 56 hours worth of work. Most people will quote you 8 hours of work, but you never know what you're getting into. Take your time, do it right. And again, thank you, Tim, for sending me these pictures. You're doing a great job keeping Spanky beautiful and in the air. She's a lovely, lovely aircraft and got lots of life in her. And as a very nice touch, Tim even put his 1969 Yankees owner manual on the console between the front seats. Good job. We hope you found all this useful and informative. Don't be offended. It is something that you can do. Thanks for watching, and have a good day flying your Grumman.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grumman Pilot's YouTube channel, directly supporting the Grumman Pilots Association. And this will be the first of several videos covering how to install a two-place canopy. Personally, I think it's one of the most difficult things we do on the two-place airplane, the canopy. The windshield is a little bit more difficult than the four-place in some aspects, and it's a little easier in other aspects because it's only an 1/8 inch or 3/16 versus 1/4 inch. But back to the canopy. So here you can see the profile of the canopy. Now, I know it may look like it's symmetric on the airplane, but it is not. You'll notice that the peak is about right here on the top of the curve, the apex. And that is closer to this end. So this is the front. Most people assume they put the labels on the front end. These are just slapped on when they're cut out, so they could be anywhere on here. This is not a reference point.
So like we said, there is a definite profile to the two-place canopy, and when it's properly installed, it just blends into the airplane beautifully. You never really even notice it. And it doesn't matter, how old the airplane is. Obviously, these were done with solar gray. But anyway, again, the bump is a little bit on the forward side, and that's the side you want to put forward again. And just in case you're curious, here's what it looks like when you install a canopy on a two-place airplane backwards. It fits and everything works, but it just looks a little silly, as Ken said. So just be careful when you get ready to do a two-place canopy. We have a set of videos out there. I think it's 7 parts, shows from the beginning to the end of a two-place canopy install. So ladies and gentlemen, not picking any fun on anybody, but I finally found a picture of one where it was installed backwards. So just be careful when you're doing yours. Having fun, folks.
So we hope you found this part useful. Thanks for watching, and have a good day flying your Grumman. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grumman Pilots YouTube channel, directly supporting the Grumman Pilots Association. And we're on the last bit of a canopy install. As you can see, we've made a score line where the rail goes, and we've done that on both sides. So now we're going to take the sanders and we're going to bring this down to the final level, and then it's time to attach the skirt to the rear bow and put it back on the airplane. So stand by for a bit more fun. Well, now we've sanded the sides down to finish, And as you can see, it's a nice matte finish, no stress cracks. We've taken a razor blade on this back bow and we have cut all the sealant and pulled it off with the tape. We cut it down here, and now we're getting ready to pull off this tape, and then we're going to be taking out the screws of the back bow and adding the skirt back on the aircraft. And at that point we will remove all the bear hide and take it over to the airplane and attach it to the rail. So stand by. Okay, as you can see, the skirt is back on. We've just repainted the front bow and the masking stripe for the sealant on the front of the bow in flat black, and that's drying up. We've also prepared the rails. We've put the 3M foam tape. We've punched out the holes for the screws, and right before we put the canopy on, we will peel the tape off for the on the rubber, and then we will be good to go. So stand by in just a minute. We'll have this, as soon as the paint dries, we'll have it back on the airplane, and another canopy install, except for the latch assembly, which we still have to put in. So stand by. Okay, we're getting ready to put the canopy on, and you can see we put the 3M tape and we've punched out holes where the screws are going to go both sides. The canopy hiding strip is all nicely flat black and painted, ready to go back on the airplane. So in just a couple of minutes and 12 screws, we'll be peeling off the bear hide, so stand by for just a little bit more. Well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen, the end of part 7. Canopy's on, rear windows are in, windshield's done. We're just going to fire it up after the end. You'll do all our pre-engine checks, and then Tim will be flying the girl home to her hangar. So we hope you found this useful. Like I say, just take your time. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's not hard work. Just take your time. Thanks for watching, and have a good day flying your Grumman.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a look behind the scenes of how this airplane got to be such a lovely shape. She is for sale, 1969 American Yankee Clipper, AA1, serial number 0138. Contact Roscoe at KHAO at 513-519-7008. Make a deal and take her home. Thanks for watching. You know, forget buying expensive toys for your kittens and cats. We find that just taking the aircraft spruce box and the paper on the tile floor is more than enough amusement for them for hours.